Can you share a glimpse of what ANJ was like a business in 2004 when you joined it? So like what was the dynamics around it? Like can you share a little about specifically ANJ in 2004?
We were then called as Kularia Associates. Kularia being my surname, it was more of a Kularia company. Those days, it was much easier. Kularia Associates, this associate.
Right.
So that's how we were known as. That's what my dad's firm was known as.
Right.
And I think we were in 2003. We just started our first manufacturing facility in Mumbai, spread
Uh-huh.
over 12,000 square feet. It
Wow.
was first factory in our industry that someone had put up, and we were doing a lot of good work across India. We recently then just completed a project for the Deccan Odyssey train, which was like Palace of Wheel of Maharashtra. And obviously, then I got into the business. I had a lot of ideas and a lot of things that I was always jumping around. My dad would always say, whatever you want to do, just come discuss with me and go ahead and do it. And I think that changed a lot of things, how I grew. And I went and said, Papa, a business card is not looking good. I want to change. I said, go ahead, do it. I said, we need to make a brochure. Back those days, having a profile or a website was an unheard thing. People would just take a printout of your profile of projects done in an Excel sheet and go. And I would say, no, can we make a professional profile or get into a website? And there were thoughts like, you'll put a website and you'll publish your turnovers and data on the website. IT guys will come. So I said, no, those days are not. It's not those Sarkar Raj. So things have changed. We then got into much more corporatization the entire organization. We formed the brand to ANJ in 2005 with this whole mindset that we wanted to become a corporate brand and not just a family run business run by a father son. So that's how things have changed since 2004 for us.
So would you say that that was your start point focus, like when you had just joined, that let's corporatize the business first? Uh, is that what you would?
Yes, because that's what my dad told me. Because the future, he's been in the industry since 1970s, late 70s. So he's seen the industry evolve from what it was then, when it was much more smaller, very few corporate jobs. It was more of a residential industry, then grew into larger. But then onset of the IT industry from 2000, things changed, and he realized with a lot of these huge IPCs like JLL and CBRE coming in, a lot of new design firms coming up. The whole need for trying to get a not just the work but also the processes were going to be very important, because
Right.
suddenly MNC, earlier we were all dealing with Indian clients, "Arey kya chal raha hai," would work, Hindi conversation would work, but with MNCs coming, with IPCs coming, you had to be more structured. So I think that was one of the few things that he told me to focus on in the initial few years, that we had to redo a lot of these things. We are probably weak, so we got a strength of, we used to work with supervisors on site, so we got project managers involved,
Yeah.
safety managers involved, and tried to change the way our industry was working,
Right.
from a much more desi contracting company to a kind of a global player, which all the
Right.
MNCs would then request. So I think that's how it changed, and it was his advice which helped me to grow it.
Right. So that was like a start point direction given by him, and then you took it forward.
Yes.